Hi guys, it's Tyra, the Intuitive LCPC, and thank you for joining my channel on today. I wanted to jump on here really quickly. I felt just the need to share. So I hope that, whoever finds this message, whoever comes across this message, that it resonates with you on today. I'm definitely still learning tarot, but that is not the reason why I started this video on today. I started this video on today because I wanted to just share about self-confidence, and it kind of goes along with what the kind of theme, what's been coming up in my sessions this week, even what's been coming up in my personal meditations and so forth. And even as it pertains to me achieving my own goals, is stepping into this place of self-confidence. And what that looks like is not talking myself out of success, not talking myself out of the idea that something could really be good. It can be even better than how I imagined in my head. And, throughout this week, I've been sitting and I've been thinking about, like, Tyra, where did all this, doubt in yourself and this lack of confidence and this fear of failure come in? And I think that it started coming in when I really start looking to other people to validate me. And what I mean by that is it was simple things. I think for me, it was I'm not really sure, and, saying, hey, what do you think about this? And kind of basing my decision and even my feelings on whether or not it was a good idea on their reactions. And then I realized that even now, a lot of the different lessons that I have been learning for myself in my healing journey has to do with detachment. And I didn't realize how many people, how many things, how many internal beliefs that I have been attached to that has actually been hindering me lately. Here's the word, excuse me. And I just wanted to come on and be completely transparent, because I think that that's where, that's where healing happens, not just for the listener, but also for the person being able to speak. I talk about, I talk to people and I say, hey, therapy is an opportunity for us to purge our thoughts, for us to be able to speak those ideas and those thoughts that are on our minds, whether or not they're positive or toxic. We have to have an opportunity to purge that outside of us. And that's what talk therapy does. And I'm still connected to my therapist, but I felt like just being transparent, not necessarily processing my thoughts and feelings, but being transparent about what my journey looks like when I share some of these self-concepts with you guys, I think might be helpful for us to kind of identify those covert things that we don't necessarily pick up on, that has to do with our self-esteem. Like, am I really good enough? And covertly, that looks like, oh my gosh, what if I look crazy on camera? Oh my gosh, what if I stumble over my words? Oh my gosh, what if I say the wrong word? And we sabotage ourselves. We sabotage ourselves with all of these things that are in our head that I promise you no one really cares about other than us. And that is the part of our toxicity that we have to address. And I am addressing that. I'm addressing building my confidence, my fear of being seen, and also sticking to my guns as far as being consistent, and being consistent when it is that I have something to say, and speaking when I have something to say, and when I don't, I don't. And that's a practice that I'm not, just employing as it pertains to growing my presence and so forth on the channel, but also a practice that I'm employing as it pertains to just growing in my own personal goals. So I hope that, my sharing of my personal goals and building my self-confidence has encouraged you on today. I really hope that it has encouraged you. I'm not quite sure what video recording number this is. I just decided I was just going to stop keeping track. But just to encourage you that if you are thinking about, joining any platform, whatever it is, because you have a story that's on the inside of you, I promise that your story will reach whoever needs to hear it. That's just the divinity of the universe. That's just how everything that we have experienced and everything that is on the inside of us, it isn't just for us. And so those are the particular things that I have to remind myself about when my ego starts to get in the way and my ego starts to try to speak all of these negative things to me. And I self-sabotage so many different times. But I'm here to say now that I am working to grow out of that self-sabotaging behavior, embracing just the greatness that is in me, the greatness that I was created in, and being able to use that greatness to co-create the life that I want. So if this is you, stick around. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to just settle my spirit. I mean, I felt compelled to share, but in that sharing was a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelming feelings, but I'm deeply encouraged because I pushed through regardless. So I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to come back and then we'll get into the cards. It's Tyra again. Thank you for being so patient with me and allowing me the opportunity to regroup and come back. I know it didn't take that much time in video world, but I appreciate you allowing the break nonetheless. While I was in break and regrouping, the Holy Spirit has shared with me to pull an oracle card from the Grief, Grace, and Healing deck, and then pull from the Tarot deck to get more examples. After I pull from the oracle deck, I also will read the book that contains the expanded meaning and some of the action steps for us. And I say for us because I'm part of this healing journey too. So these cards are too much for me to shuffle. So we're just going to do the spread again in the one card pull. Spread them out. If there's something that's on your heart, when you come to my channel, by all means, put it out in the universe, resonate, meditate. Sit in expectancy that the divine will answer your message, whether it's through my message, some of my previous messages, or even some other platform and media. I'm going to pull a card. Okay. So the card that we have is number 57. And this card says, grieve what never was. I'll put it up there so you can check it out. Grieve what never was. A path never taken in the past may have involved a hard, complicated choice you or others made. Or maybe a dream you held dear simply never came true. Or possibly a relationship never reached its full potential. It's healing now. It's time to grieve what never was. I received that. It's healing now to grieve what never was, which can actually help you appreciate what is. Seek solace. Let me read it to you again. It says, grieve what never was. A path never taken in the past may have involved a hard, complicated choice you or others made. Or maybe a dream you held dear simply never came true. Or possibly a relationship never reached its full potential. It's healing now to grieve what never was, which can actually help you appreciate what is. Seek solace. So that was card number 57. I'm going to make some way. And then we're going to jump over to the book and I'll read the expanded meaning and interpretation from the book. And as I'm drawing that message, it just comes and it just speaks to how often we sit in pain and we sit in our grief, whether it is grief of things that have occurred or grief of losses, friendships, relationships, connections. But we sit in that place so much so that oftentimes we forget about gratitude. Oftentimes we forget about sitting in a place where we are mindful enough to appreciate where we are in that moment. That's very profound. So enough about me. Let's jump over to 57 and my internal thoughts. Maybe those thoughts are for me, not for you. But the expanded meaning reads, an event, date, or comment in the present acts as a reminder of something you wanted very much but never got to experience, like having a certain level of healthy emotional intimacy with a parent, and you are now grieving. You may be grieving never experiencing the joyful ups and downs of becoming a parent yourself, or never feeling the accomplishment of certain unattained career goals or the lifestyle that you envisioned for yourself before an injury or illness took you on a different path. You can never grieve something you thought you had, like mutual trust and respect with a romantic or business partner, only to discover you never really did have that, or at least not in the way you believed. Loss can be about something leaving our life, or it can be about something we've never had. It's okay to grieve what never was. In fact, it can be healing. Oh my goodness. I have a story that I think that I could share, even as it pertains to me stepping away from my narcissistic ex-husband, or just leaving my marriage in general. I'll stop putting descriptors, but my marriage in general. But before I jump into that story, action steps. It says sometimes older parts of ourselves, like old dreams, goals, relationships, or points of focus, pop up and get our attention. What's the message with this reminder? Are you needing to simply acknowledge this grief over something you've never had to feel more whole and in touch with yourself? Let me read this again. Are you needing to simply acknowledge this grief over something you've never had to feel more whole and in touch with yourself? Is there a message in the emotion about a boundary you need to set with someone? Perhaps there's a message about an old desire you might decide to prioritize again now, in a new way that's more aligned with your present day life. Sometimes what never was is what can hurt the most. Be compassionate with yourself now as you acknowledge this loss and your feelings around it. On the other side of grieving what never was can be a sense of release, lightness, clarity, and gratitude for what is. Seek solace, soothe yourself. Wow. I might not even get into the tarot in this reading. Maybe I'll do a part 2, but I'm just being led, or I'm being pulled to grow in this situation with becoming a lot more transparent with my story. And as I work through my feelings about my marriage ending, I was happy. I felt a sense of freedom that I was free from the emotional and mental baggage, as well as the feelings of betrayal from the different things that I had experienced in the marriage. So there was a sense of freedom, but I grieved terribly because I felt like I had failed. I felt like the dreams that I had constructed, or the dreams that we had constructed as a married couple, that none of those things had an opportunity to come true, and that I had to throw them all away, and they were just the life that I thought that I was going to have for myself. And I had this epiphany that, Tyra, you're not grieving this person. You're not grieving this individual. You're not grieving even the idea of not being married to this person anymore. I was grieving the dreams that we had talked about. I had bought into those dreams. I had bought into those ideas, and I had bought into the idea that that was the life that I was going to live, and I was grieving that. And that required time. It required my attention. Even though it was something that I had never experienced before, I had spent countless times birthing the idea of it. Countless times with us discussing it and growing passion and desire about it. I had to cut ties not only with this person, but all of those dreams that I had bought into for my life. So when we talk about grief and loss and some of the secondary losses, so this is kind of what I mean. The primary loss may be the loss of the actual spouse, but some of those other losses, and one of the greatest ones was me having to grieve the life that I thought that I was going to live. And on the other side of grieving that life that I thought I was going to live, I allowed myself to release it. I grieved it. I cried. I yearned. I tried to figure out how I can still make it happen. But then I recognized that that particular dream was a dream that was constructed and it involved him. So if I was going to dream, I needed to dream beyond the last dream that I had. And that is what the healing journey for me, I'm constantly trying to evolve and have it look like. And I'm even trying to help my clients to be able to navigate in that capacity of saying that the dream isn't lost. You're just going to have to figure out a different way to be able to achieve it. And it may not come the way you have imagined. Because the way that you have imagined is going to be tied to a lot of these old strings. It's going to be tied to a lot of these old connections, things that are going to constantly trigger your grief. So as you work through this attachment, it's basically, unhooking all of these fish hooks. If you want to do some visionary work with me, all of these fish hooks of attachment, of this person being attached to you, that person being attached to you, and that situation. Then you have to look at your internal attachments. What types of ideas and thoughts and feelings and ideologies do you even have about yourself that you are so tied to that you're unwilling to let go of? I told you I was led to talk about something today. I didn't necessarily know where it was going to go, but I am grateful for the message. I am grateful for the outpouring. I'm grateful for the opportunity for me to purge, but not just purge in a complaint kind of posture, to purge so that you could learn, that you can be nurtured, that my wounds and the healing thereof can offer you some level of healing as well, some level of direction and encouragement to know that it hurts. It hurts very much, but I would say start there. I'm hearing the Holy Spirit just guide me with saying, start there. Start with really spending time identifying for yourself what are the secondary losses that I am experiencing due to that big loss. Like, you know what the big loss is. For some of you guys, I'm hearing that it's a relationship, perhaps a marriage. For some of you guys, I'm hearing that it is a loss of a child, and I'm so very sorry if that is for you, or even someone who is struggling right now with their fertility journey. You may have feelings of grief, and it's okay to grieve. It's okay to grieve what has not been, because you are grieving the idea of the dream, the life that you want to imagine for yourself. It's okay to grieve. And if no one else is giving you permission on today, I want to give you permission on today to do what you need to do so that you can feel it, you can heal it, and that you can release it. It's not going to just go away. Time will continue. Feelings will linger. Those feelings and those thoughts may even morph into some other type of animal. Feel it, heal it, and then release it. Feel it, heal it, and then change it. Feel it, heal it, and accept it. Those are the 3 different pathways that we can go down to on today. So I am hearing the Holy Spirit tell me to pull some more cards. So I'm going to pull some messages. And maybe this will resonate. Maybe this will help you even further to confirm for you the next steps about what the Holy Spirit just wants you to do. But from what I've already described, these cards will just be confirmation for whatever has already been communicated in this space. If tarot is not your thing, I'll just give you the opportunity to, share your comments, and then you can go ahead and bow out, and we'll see you next time. And I appreciate you joining me so far just in this discussion. And for the rest of us who are interested in some of the messages that might come through the tarot, and if you're also interested in just being along with me along my journey of learning tarot, certainly stick around, because I'm going to pull a couple of cards. And right now, I would ask that you would come up with a question in your mind. Whatever it is. And hopefully, your question is not too far off of Spirit. Spirit is definitely talking to us about being able to grieve what never was. So if you're struggling with something right now, I would like for you to bring it to the forefront of your mind. If you are unclear about what that could be, here's your opportunity to ask. Help me identify. Help me to identify. And I'm hearing that is the question. Help us, Spirit. Speak to us and our viewers and whoever this message is coming across. And this is a timeless message. This is a timeless message. If you are struggling to grieve what never was, I hope that this message finds you. This will be the last shuffle pull, and the question that we will put out in the Spirit is, Spirit, guide us, guide the viewers, guide anyone who is witnessing this message. Answer their questions that they may have. Allow me to be a conduit and a voice of your messages, because, Lord, I know that you meet us wherever we are. Whether we are in a church house, whether or not we are in the woods, whether or not we are in the comfort of our own homes, we know, Lord, that when we cry out for you, that there is an answer. And as I invite you to join me in this metaphysical space, Spirit guides, guide us. You have a question and you want an answer. I'm going to pull some cards today. See what happens. there any other messages that you would like for me to share? Are there any other questions you would like answered? Are there any messages? And 2 cards so far. All right. 3rd time. This will be the last time. Spirit, if there are any messages you will want relayed, please share. Help us to identify those things that we need to release. All right, I think that's it. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Pentacles. You're going to have good news in earthly matters. What I'm hearing this say is, on the other side of you grieving what never was and being able to release it, that new beginnings and opportunities are going to come to you. There is a brightness that's happening on your path. For some of you guys, you may be going back to school. For some of you guys, you may be furthering your education. And in doing this, you will increase your income. But I'm hearing Holy Spirit say that you're going to have to grieve what never was, so that you can release all of those feelings that are holding you back from all of the opportunities that are waiting for you. You have been praying, you have been asking, you have been manifesting, and this card says yes. It's an absolute yes. For some of you guys, this may involve a new job. For some of you, it may involve, like I talked about before, it may talk about going back and furthering your education. But the answer is absolutely yes. Good news and good opportunities are going to present themselves. And I would just encourage you to turn away from a lot of the negativity and the internal self-talk that you're speaking to yourself. Don't sabotage this opportunity. Heal through what you're grieving. And based upon what the Holy Spirit is communicating to us, it's you're grieving something that you've never had. And you're going to have to work on that, to work to release that in order to walk into this new opportunity. For my other group of folks, if you had questions that had to do with whether or not you're going to get back together, or whether or not this relationship is salvageable, or whether or not it can be mended, the answer is no. The answer is absolutely no. And this 5 of Swords, it's just saying to me right now that you have encountered so much manipulation and resentment. There is so much power struggles that you have encountered with trying to maintain this connection. The answer is no. And the only encouragement that I can offer you on today is that Yes, you may have invested a lot of yourself in this connection. Yes, you may have invested a lot of resources and time and effort. But if you continue down this path, you will lose yourself. You have no more to invest. Instead, in that situation, instead, redirect all of that investment, that time, that energy, that love, redirect it back towards yourself. You're going to have to work through your feelings of bitterness, the feelings of humiliation. It's going to involve you to step out of isolation. You're going to have to seek solace. The message for seeking solace I'm hearing is for you. Seek solace. You do not have to go at this alone. But the answer is no. It is time for you to choose yourself. No, it's not about accepting defeat. It's about surrendering yourself away from toxicity. And what I mean surrendering is you acknowledging and accepting that I have been a part of a toxic situation. I have contributed to a toxic situation, and loving yourself enough to step away. And this is for male or female. The next person, let's take a look at yours. And what I'm hearing the Spirit say, this is the Knight of Pentacles. And I'm hearing the Spirit say that your future is bright. On the other side of your healing, you're almost there. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say, is that you're almost there. Just be a little bit more patient with yourself. Persevere a little bit more. Not just time is healing your wounds, but you have been working to heal your wounds. And I'm hearing Spirit say, stick to the routine. Whatever routines of self-care that you have put in place for yourself right now, whether it is connecting to God through your spirituality, whether it's prayer, meditation, whether it's cold, so I don't know where you are and where you're hearing this, but you're staying connected to a routine that keeps you in God's presence. And God is saying that He is pleased with you and He wants you to be patient and to persevere. He's saying that you are trustworthy and you are a hard worker. And those that persevere reach their goals. That's what I'm hearing. So you're almost there. So I just encourage you to stick to whatever the routine is. Stay connected to your source. Whatever your source and your spirituality source, whatever is fueling you, stay connected. Stay in your routine. Stay in prayer, because you're almost there. And for my last person, this is the Ace of Cups. And your answer is absolutely yes. With all the bells and whistles, yes. This is the Ace of Cups. It's almost like you're stepping into this lottery place of perseverance that's going to be on the other side of you embracing your healing process. So I'm hearing that this is a yes. And I'm hearing Spirit say that they want to outpour new beginnings, new relationships, new love. So I'm hearing that if you've lost a loved one, if you've lost a spouse, if you've lost a significant other, a life partner, and a soulmate even. And you know, soulmates and life partners, they can be friends, they can be romantic partners. But what I'm hearing is, if maybe the story that I talked about with my ex resonates in the sense of grieving the unknown, grieving what you never had. And I just want to encourage you that life is still yours to co-create. That's what I heard Spirit say. You still have life to co-create. The visions that the Spirit has given you, He has given you so that you can plant seeds and grow. And what that means is that if the vision wasn't for you, then the divine would not have given it to you. Go and co-create. There are new beginnings and new relationships and new love and new opportunities. That's on the other side of you embracing the life that you get to co-create and write all over again. I'm hearing Spirit say that I'm outpouring everything to you to give you a brand new slate. And the answer is yes, go co-create. I appreciate all you guys joining me on today. I appreciate you tuning in and you trusting me to be able to deliver the messages on you today, to you on today. And I'm just grateful. I'm just utterly grateful for this opportunity. I'm utterly grateful for being obedient even to my goals and persevering even when I'm afraid. So until next time, thank you for joining my channel. If you want to reach out to me, I'm available at intuitivelcpc@gmail.com. If you are interested in therapy sessions, I am also taking new clients, and you can check me out at intuitivelcpc.com for the website. I don't know if I gave you my email. My email is intuitivelcpc@gmail.com, and the website is intuitivelcpc.com. And on that site, it'll direct you to my virtual office. You can input your information, and if I am not taking your insurances, you can certainly reach out to me for coaching opportunities or just self-pay. So until next time, I appreciate you all again. Have a wonderful and fantastic day.